Hello my lovians and welcome back to another video on my channel where, by the way, I just want to mention that all the videos this week are pre-recorded as always. But I have a ton of videos that are mid-year videos. It's mid-year of the year. It's the midpoint of the year. And so we're doing the worst books so far this year, which is the video you're watching right now. We also have the best books so far this year. And we also have the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm doing all three of these videos this week, and so this is a very heavy BookTube week, so you're welcome guys. I hope you enjoy. We're going to first start with the worst books of the year so far, because I think, personally, those are the funnest videos to make, and that one, the first book we're going to talk about, which is it might be a shocker, because the log doesn't come out yet, but if you follow me on Bookstagram, which you totally should, you would know that this is definitely one of my worst books of the year, and that is The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty by Anne Rice. The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty is about, Beauty. She is woken up by a prince. This is an erotic novel. I want to mention it right here. She is woken up by a prince, and when she is awakened by said prince, by sexual encounter, she is taken under him as a sex slave. Yeah, best way to put it. I listened to it as an audiobook in one day to push myself through it, as I knew I would end up DNFing it if I actually did stop listening to it. It changed my whole entire mood, and I went to bed like an hour earlier than I normally do because of how much this affected my brain. This is horrible. I gave a 1-star rating. Most of these books you're going to find out I have given very low ratings or okay, mediocre ratings. Not exactly the best rated things, as these are the worst books I've read so far this year. I only have 4 books to go over, by the way. This is just number 1 in no particular order. I think this might be my least favorite, though. I don't know. We'll find out as I go along. But yeah, so it's about Beauty. She gets waken up by the prince, and she is taken off into a castle full of lots of very, very graphic, non-consensual sex. And it follows her. It also follows a prince that you meet when they get to his kingdom, which is just some of the hardest stuff I've ever had to listen to, let alone read. The torture, the sexual fantasy torture in this book is just, it's really, really a lot. And also, which, I mean, I guess that's not really something to critique the novel on, as that could be a preference that somebody likes to read. Not judging you, just it was not in my taste. But I would also like to mention that there is no plot to this book. I would say the plot started to move forward probably about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way throughout the book, and then it kind of fell flat again. There's a big chunk of this novel that takes place in the past with a character you just finally kind of get to learn, but you don't really know much about. And yeah, I think you get to learn his backstory. And I figured that was where the story is going to take place. And also, the ending is extremely weird, and I'm not picking up the sequel, but it does leave it open for more. And I did a little research, and I heard the second one's worse than the first one, the third one's okay, and the fourth one is by far the best one, as it is not so detailed in the graphics. Anne Rice did write this under as a pen name of A.N. Ruckart, and they were pretty popular when they came out. I just absolutely hate this trash. I hate it. I have nothing good to say about it, personally. The writing is okay. I read Anne Rice before. It's not my first encounter. I've read the whole entire series for Interview with the Vampire, so not my first encounter at all. I just think this book is just bad. It's just bad. I'm sorry if you want to hate me in the comments. That's perfectly fine if this is one of your favorite books. And I did get a lot of comments on Instagram. I got a few talking about how they loved Anne Rice and how they were really shocked that I really hate this book because of Anne Rice. And I really enjoy Anne Rice writing as well. I just don't think there was a purpose to write this book. I think this could have been I think I would have liked it better if it was like a novella, like a short novel. You know what I mean? But not like, I mean, it is quite short. I think it's only under like 200. No, it's a little over 200 pages. But it's also a 4-book series, so, you know, take it as you will. The second book is going to be popping up here on the screen, so as are the rest of the books, as this is the only book that I own, because, obviously, for purposes of reasons, and that is The Antichrist by, oh my gosh, I cannot remember who wrote this book. Hold on. Give me a second so I can very quickly go over to it. By Frederick Nassisi. This is a book that's very old. I read it for a research project. Not a research project. I read it for research from the novel that I'm currently writing, which has elements of the Antichrist in it. And so this is the book that got recommended to me the most. It's really just a lot about his point of view and his opinions and how his opinions are better than yours. I thought it was going to be more based on what certain things were. This was much more of a disappointment. Also, because it is from the 1800s. It's from 1890 or something like that. The translation version, it's not written in our language, my language being English. It's not written in my language, and so it's a translated version of his original. The wording is quite weird, and there are certain lines that I just laughed at because I think it deserves to be laughed at. I don't think this is as bad as The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty, but I wouldn't say pick it up anytime soon because I personally really didn't like it. Ironically, a lot of these books that I'm not liking this year are audiobooks, so that kind of sucks. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about the Antichrist, I guess, except for he had some very, very bizarre things that he wanted to happen in the world. I don't know. I would be very curious to talk to somebody about the Antichrist, but not my favorite book I read this year. It was very, very weird, very uncomfortable. I guess that's a good definition for these books. They were really uncomfortable, and yeah, just did not really like it. So either way, we are going to move on to the next. The next book we're going to be talking about is Buffy Volume 1. I read all 4 issues. The 4th issue will be coming out I read it back in April or May when it came out, but it'll be coming out the last week of June because of how my scheduling and stuff is. And personally, that's mostly a rant review about the whole entire thing. Buffy number 4 is my least favorite one out of the whole issue. But as I have gone back and I have recently reread the whole entire volume, all 4 issues back to back to see if I enjoyed it better. No, I think I enjoyed it a lot worse. Because I knew it was coming, and it was just annoying. There's a lot of subplots here. You guys don't know what Buffy the Vampire Slayer is. It's about a teenage girl named Buffy, who is a vampire slayer. She moves to a town called Sunnydale. She meets 2 of her best friends, Xander and Willow, in this particular graphic novel, which is a remade. It's a reborn edition of Buffy from the creators of Boom. And I think it personally is more the writers. I don't really think it's the Boom. I could be wrong, the people who produce it, but the writers, Joss Whedon's stamp is all over this, which sucks, and they make some very, very, very interesting choices. I don't want to give many things away, because this is still a very, very fresh and new series, especially in the comic book world, especially if you do love Buffy. If you love Buffy, I recommend picking up as a volume, read all 120 pages of it, and then determine if you're going to continue on. I will continue on for reviewing purposes. I am going to move on to Angel, and I'll be reviewing Angel. But right now, I think this is the worst I've ever read for anything like this. I personally just did nothing. I didn't like any part of Buffy Volume 1. I didn't like the characters. I thought the artwork was really pretty. I think they did a really good job with the artwork. But overall, I think it was really bad. There was too many characters for them being so short. I mean, an issue is only 30 pages long, so them going through a whole arc and adding way too many characters, I think, was a big problem, and some very, very strong character choices they have made in these first 4 issues, in this particular first volume. I personally don't agree with most of them. There's a few that I didn't agree with getting, that I ended up really liking by the end of the first arc, but there's still a lot that I just think I don't like at all. I'm very curious to see how Angel is, because I've never really liked Angel as a character, and so we'll wait and see how that is. But I'll try to do a whole review about Buffy in general, my complaints and different things, and where I'd like to see the series go to become better. I think it has room to grow to become better, but right now I think we're on a very, very low standard point. This is a very, very high expectation series of mine, and so I think we're on a very low standing point. But we're going to move on. The last book of what we're going to talk about is the book that I read during the 24-hour readathon, and that's called Rainbow High. If I'm not mistaken, this is written by Alex Sanchez. Yep. And this is a sequel to Rainbow Boys. That's what it is. I enjoyed Rainbow Boys. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't think it was perfect. Didn't think it was horrible. I read also during a 24-hour readathon vlog, ironically, and so I figured I'd read this one. This is a 3-book series. There's the next one called Rainbow Road. I'm not picking it up due to my disliking of Rainbow High. I think the way they handle certain themes were okay, but I'm also still stuck on the fact that it was written in the early 2000s, and I think it does play a big role in if you enjoy the story or not, because there's so many subject matters that are just hold very unsensitive, and a lot of the characters' choices that are made are super duper annoying. Like, not that I don't think these characters made these choices, that's not what I'm saying, because the characters are annoying, so I'm assuming they're going to make annoying choices. It was just really annoying to read, and I ended up screaming about it. If you guys don't know what it's about 3 main characters, Nate, Justin, Justin, Kyle, and then Justin, Kyle, and Nelson. I was going to say Nathan, it's Nelson. And it's about their senior year of high school. They're figuring out where they're going to go to college, who they're going to college with. Also, we have that dealing with. We also have HIV dealing with. We have abusive parents, and several other very, very strong topic things handled in a 272-page book. Maybe it's Alex Sanchez, I'm not sure. I've heard his books are amazing, and they have really put a staple in the LGBT community for reading purposes, and this almost has a 4-star rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I am not that 4-star. Pretty sure I gave this one a 2-star, maybe possibly a 3. I gave it a 3, and I think I did have it backing up reasons. I'll link that vlog, and any other vlog that involves any of these things down below. I'll post all my Buffy reviews down below if you want to read them. And also I'm planning on having a Claiming of Sleeping Beauty rant review out eventually, probably next month. And so yeah, that's it. That's what I gotta say about this. I don't really know. Not the worst books ever, because I didn't have really strong opinions, except for the first book. I mean, I started on a very strong note. I think this is not a horrible book. I think you could probably enjoy Rainbow High, but honestly, I don't think it's that good, and I don't really recommend picking it up. There's plenty of amazing LGBTQ plus, IAP plus novels out there that I think are more worth your time than whatever this is, and it's not worth your time. Personal opinion. Now, to be honest, I've been really disappointed with a lot of LGBTQIA plus books. So, do what you want with that. Not the year for me for those, but I have a lot of books I'm really looking forward to that are in the genre coming up, which we'll talk about in a different video, not this video. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big fat thumbs up, don't forget to comment down below, hit subscribe button. I'll see you all next time for another beautiful, lovely video, and I post book 2 videos normally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but this week you have one every single day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And make sure you check out on Friday's video for what I thought of Smuttathon and if I won the bingo or not. Very, very fun, very, very exciting video that one is. But yeah, I'll of course talk to you guys very soon.